Good morning, YouTubers. My name is Kira Sykes, owner of Graces and Places. And I must say, this first video, I had not planned on being my first video. It is super early in the morning, and I felt like, God woke me up in a dream, in the middle of a dream, and I haven't been able to go back to sleep since. And for those of you who may or may not know, I have been planning on doing this YouTube channel for quite some time. And I've really been praying and seeking that God kind of guides me in the right direction as far as what kind of content to put on here, how He wants me to do it, what topics He wants me to focus on. Because as most of you out there may experience, it's really hard to really seek and know your purpose in life based on what you feel God is leading you to do, plus have, another business, full-time business, and a family, and being a mom and a wife. So there's a lot I'm trying to wrap my head around. And the reason I mentioned purpose is Philippians 2:13. It says, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose." I won't get into too much details about why I've struggled for 37 years. 30 32 years actually, about my purpose. That can be in a later video. But this is like my first. I had an epiphany this morning at 3:23 this morning whenever I just laid awake in my bed. This is going to be called, it's my first episode of Behind the Scenes, Raw and Exposed. And I really felt like God wanted me to get up and record this video as my first video and get your feedback as far as what you guys would like to see on this channel. Graces and Places came to me because I am also a full-time real estate broker, and I felt that it was important to create a channel to discuss the importance of buying a home, not essentially buying a home in regards to like the walls and the roof and all that, but the importance of having a foundation for a family to really grow and thrive together as a family within those four walls. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, but through my experience and through this dream I'm about to tell you I've had, just short story. My husband and I have been together now, back together for about a year now. We experienced a temporary separation, and through that separation, even though many people told me, don't wait on him, don't, wait, you should date other people. Instead of doing what the world wanted me to do, I prayed and I was seeking God the entire 8 months, and I've learned a lot. And throughout learning what I've learned through prayer and fasting and reading His Word, I've come to realize that that's really what everything should be about in every aspect of our life. And so that's really how we can tune out the world around us and really hone in on what His purpose is for our life. That being said, in the meantime of that separation, I've had the opportunity to discuss my experience with some people, and I don't want to say give them advice, but share with them the things that I've learned through that process to help keep hopefully their marriages together and to build that foundational relationship between husband and wife. And I've come to realize too, a blended family struggle an awful lot. So maybe that's something I will focus on too, is how to grow strongly in a blended family. So I talk about the separation that my husband and I went through, and one of the biggest things that we had to overcome was the fact that I've been married before and have a child with a previous husband. And, at the time we were fighting all the time, and it was the foundation for why we separated. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially. But as you seek and you pray and you fast and you really dive into the Word, there's things that come up. And one of the things that we really questioned was Mark 10:12. And if she divorces her husband and marries another man, she commits adultery. So my husband and I struggled with this. I know it's the it is in the New Testament. But we have to remember God's grace, and it took us a while to overcome this. Ephesians 2:8 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God." So circling back around to that, we really had to realize and overcome the laws and the rules in the Old Testament and the New Testament, not overcome or ignore them by any means. It's very important that we have them, because if we didn't have a baseline, we wouldn't know what we were being saved from, if that makes any sense. So we had to overcome a lot of internal things, and with prayer and all what God has revealed to us, we are better than ever. So thank goodness for that. We have to remember that Ephesians 6:12 says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." So if you think that you're mad at your husband, you're really not. You're mad at the evil forces that have attached maybe to him or to something toxic in your relationship that's really using that to help bring you guys down. So I'm hoping that this channel will help reveal, God willing, a lot of that information. So why did I wake up at 3:20 or 3:43 a.m. this morning? I'm going to share this dream with you guys, and hopefully you guys can tell me what you feel, if this is confirmation based on the short story I've just told you about the separation and about being able to help other people, by sharing what I've learned so far. But so I'm driving down the road with a few of my friends, and I'm a passenger, and I drive by this old house, a house that I actually spent a lot of my high school years in with one of my best friends. And I see her mother, whom I love near and dear. They're her and her father, my best friend's mom and dad. I always grew up, and they were just always had a special place in my heart. And I'm driving by their house, and I see her get out of a car, and she's super tan, and maybe she's been at the pool all day, but then she's shaking her head and she's crying. And I remember whoever was driving the car is like, pull over. I need to get out and talk to her. And then she didn't pull over in time. And then I see this girl trying to do this trick on a bike, and she falls over, and then they're angry at the bike. Skip forward, I don't know, and then all of a sudden I'm in my house that I lived in as a teenager and in high school, and I'm there hanging out with my friends, and then all of a sudden I hear this bang, 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 bang on the front door, but it was almost like the whole front of my house wall was clear, like a big screen door, but it had glass on it. And it's my friend's husband, and he's banging and he thinks that his wife is at my house, I guess, but he also wants to talk to me. So he's in a panic, and I was legitimately scared to answer the door. Mind you, I haven't seen these people in years. Even to this day, I haven't seen them in probably over 20 years. And so I open the door, I go outside, and he's asking where his wife is. And I say, she's not here. And we start having this in-depth conversation. He looks completely almost like rebellious looking compared to how I knew him as a child. He was skateboarding, and mind you, he's probably now in his 60s or 70s. He's like skateboarding out in front of my house. He's got this matte black car with like almost like graffiti writing on it. And he's talking about how they're just separated and how he's been dating this other woman, and apparently she had just found out. And I just started to go into this in-depth detail about, close your eyes, imagine her, when you knew her back then and you loved her and you guys were inseparable. And it just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And it was almost like I was becoming this therapist, marriage counselor therapist. And then all of a sudden a bright flash, like almost like a flash of lightning. And then I'm wide awake in my bed, and I look over, and it's raining outside, and it's lightning and thundering. And that was basically my dream. I tried to go back to sleep for a good hour and a half. I laid in bed, and then I just started getting all these ideas for this YouTube channel and maybe what God wanted me to do. So I felt like he really wanted me to do this first kind of raw and exposed video to really show you guys that I am in the infancy stages of this channel, but I really want to be guided by God, and of course what the audience wants to learn about and know about, so that I can provide that as a resource and a tool for you guys. So that is basically it. That's really all that I feel like God wanted me to get out there. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode. Again, I really want to make sure that I'm being guided in the right direction, and would love your feedback if you guys would comment below. And again, I would love to do more Bible studies with you guys and just really pray for you guys. So if you guys have any prayer requests, please feel free to comment below. Happy to do that. So thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. This is Graces in Places signing out. Bye-bye.